Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. And this is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved his consistency throughout the season. Always good, occasionally spectacular. But right now, he's on the outside of that MVP race. What's it going to take for him to get it done down the stretch?
You're right, on the fringe. But, hey, it's Week 14. There's still a month left for him to make a lasting impression, have some scintillating plays, and then who knows?
Yeah, those scintillating plays, those splash plays, those plays we'll talk about for the next week leading up to the next game. He'll need a bunch of those down the stretch in order to win the award.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go again.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it will be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it. This is the one we wanted, isn't it? A chance to watch an MVP candidate perform down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like every year as you hit the month of December, this year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked #1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 12 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. Sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught at the 20. A big play there, Rodgers to Adams, 59 yards. That's a heck of a way to convert on 3rd and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Ready to go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And we'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch left, watch left. What we got, what we got, what we got?
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up a first down with that catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
20, blue 80, right 25. Field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Get up.
On 2nd and 15 now. Ryan, there's Sanu on the catch. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Here's Ryan, and incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Packers will get the football at their own 20-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And it is now 21-0. Those are the runs the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job. Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Ryan. And that's incomplete. I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone. But we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. Davante Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And these highlights here showcasing the solid game he's had.
Well, someone woke up and felt good about themselves then, didn't they? I have to feel that he came into this one with the idea that, yeah, I can do this. Whether it's preparation, reading the film, whatever it was, it's paying off in a big way as we watch this one unfold.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards already. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
54. You got nothing today.
Now Rodgers going to throw again. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Check it back, check it back.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Our score after 1. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Green 18. 54. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Slam, slam, slam.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Was thrown quickly out to Jones.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Where y'all going? Switch. Deuce. Hey, watch it. Teammate.
Rodgers going to throw. That is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. This the most important of them all. Third and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Tack McKinley. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is taken at his 4th. Fighting through it, he's got space. There goes Green. Touchdown, Falcons. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return, as they are now on the board here in the first half. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
You can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up the second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Even. 4 down. Even.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Watch the run.
Now it's Ryan. Gets it off to Freeman. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Watch left.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And that's complete to Adams. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Packers. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he fins him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So now Charles Clay and the rest of his offensive unit heading out there. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
And they work this out past the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have him pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got Sternberger. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the ball. Check 24. Check 24. 26.
Rodgers now to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Crosby for the point after. And the lead is now 24. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score.
Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Come on, fellas.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Ryan. This complete to the tight end play. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Defense, get out the field, defense.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to go for it. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was definitely a game with what's your final score? We'll stay in the NFC South as we head over to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, You know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. On first down, it's Taylor. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Here we go.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to let this go for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Mike 54. Mike 54. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
That was thrown over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. On first down, Ryan. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16. First down, Falcons. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. On first and 10, it's Ryan. Over the middle and caught by the tight end, Clay. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. Ryan in the offense with a first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On third down, Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag?
You
just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
We got this.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Guys, it's game situation.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And that's complete to Adams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, blue 80! Blue 80! I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. 14 yards there, and a Falcon 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this one brought in by Sanu. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
1st down, Atlanta.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. Open man is Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back 25.
50. Check back 50. Watch the backer. Watch the backer.
They'll run here with Freeman. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. They'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now it's Ryan. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The first defensive back taken in this year's draft, Darnell Savage, there to knock that one away. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now Ryan. This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
This has 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
To throw is Rodgers. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position defense to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On second down, it's Jones. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. This is about what you'd expect. Defense selling out to stop the run. Pretty good on first and second down.
Yeah, you're no longer really worried about making sure you're holding up the offensive lineman as a defensive lineman. Now you're just talking about getting in gaps. You're trying to get upfield, penetrate, and make a play out on the football. Especially, before the running back really gets control of it. That's what you're doing. You're also bringing the linebackers in to jam the line of scrimmage. And a safety or two is going to be there as well.
After the run by Jones, here's first and 10.
Watch the call. Hey, 88. Look at him.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second and 11 now. Rodgers. And it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, first and 10 at their own 24. Now it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Ryan to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. After the sack on first down, Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. There's Matt Bosher now, standing just about on his own goal line. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt at 54 yards. Well struck. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check hot route. Hot. Wide. Get wide. Check. Crunch.
Now Jones. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, check 26. Back.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.